Filmmaking is very subjective. It is different for each individual. My journey as a writer, director, cinematographer, and an editor started back in 2020 when I started making these short films with little to almost no knowledge. But as our elder says, learn from your mistakes. Well, I didn't. Hello everyone, I'm Parth, and in this video I'll teach you 5 things that will help you if you're new to filmmaking. I started out by shooting on mobile phones. Prism was the first shot I directed and it was shot on iPhone SE. It looked very amateur, but I didn't see it that way, and that's the first lesson. Stay true to yourself. The entire film was very bad. The story was fantastic, but visually it was very dull, and I wasn't ready to admit it. I was 20. Adrenaline was pumping through my veins, thinking that I made some kind of Alfred Hitchcock masterpiece, but in reality, it was a show. I admit it now, but I'm 3 years late. So if you think you made mistakes while shooting, just do it again. Reshoot the footage. Just don't compromise because it is not worth it. Weeks and months of hard work goes into making these short films, and that's where our second lesson comes in. Don't rush the process. In 1.5 years, I made 10 short films. To be very honest, I wanted to make it big in a short span, and that way of looking hurt every aspect of my film in terms of quality. Because when you are starting out, you do multiple jobs, like I used to act, write, direct, and also I do the entirety of post-production. With that kind of pressure, you just want to move on to the next project. You can't give your full attention to the project that you've been working on. Because of that, every film of mine had sound issues, and we all know that if the sound is bad, your film belongs in the trash, because if the visuals may not be up to the par, your sound has to be crystal clear. Filmmaking is a process that takes time, and you need to be patient. Your mindset should be quality over quantity, which is something that I've learned very, very late. Filmmaking is also all about teamwork, and that's our next lesson. Work with like-minded people. When you are on set, you want to be surrounded by creative people, because in the end, filmmaking is just problem solving. So you can't have people involved in your project who are not dedicated towards their work. A group of 4 people who get along, who are creative, who values each other and what others bring to the table is and always will be better than a group of 15 people who are always yelling at each other, who are always running late, who doesn't prepare for their part or their job on set. These kind of things can always put a damper on the whole production, so carefully consider who you work with. I have had bad experiences while making these short films. I've lost friends because of it, but in the end, it's their loss, not mine. I can't have someone on set for whom I need to change the entire schedule. It just doesn't work. I used to be very strict as a director, and that's where the next lesson comes from. Don't be too hard on your actors.
That's what she said.
I'm the kind of man who doesn't want a word of my script changed when it comes to the dialogue. Now, I wish I had listened to the people who were suggesting me various things, but at that time I was too proud to take anybody's suggestions under consideration. I just wanted my words to come out of my actor's mouth, exact words. That's where I was wrong. It was a huge mistake, because when you write a character, you envision them as something particular in some way, shape or form, but when an actor reads their part, their vision is going to be a little bit different from yours, and that could be a good thing. Of course, it doesn't work out every time, but you should always listen to your actor if they want something they want to add or do in a certain way, because in the end it might just elevate the entire product itself. Nowadays I give freedom to my actors. I let them do the first 2-3 takes, as they would have a better understanding of how their character sounds. So if it works out in the first 2-3 takes, then that's it. If it doesn't, I kind of guide them a bit, and after teamwork we land on a version where we're both satisfied and happy with the outcome. But whether that outcome is good or not, it really all depends upon what kind of equipment you're using, and that's exactly what our next lesson is all about. Spend money on right things. In the beginning, we used to dub the entire film. I didn't even try to use on-location audio because I was too afraid I'll somehow mess it up in post-production and we wouldn't be able to complete the film. That led me into a pit of hours of unnecessary hard work and some bullshit audio, because when we dubbed the films, they were not good. Not even 1% good. So if you have a budget to spend on equipment, first and foremost, buy a mic, because your sound makes your film whole. There are tons of options available, but buy what's suitable to your needs. I recently bought Panasonic Lumix G7. It is a 4K mirrorless camera and it is fantastic, but still I am a little bummed that I haven't bought better lights, because when I recently shot first film on this camera, I realized the utmost importance of lighting, because it can really ruin your shots in terms of continuity if you rely on natural lighting like I do. It really depends on the style of filmmaking. Prioritize the equipment that's necessary for your films, because priorities drives the production, and that's our last lesson. Decide what's next and stick to it. Recently I have been having hard time deciding what I want to do next. I'm not able to make a certain project my priority right now. I know a lot of people goes through with this stuff, even outside of filmmaking as well. My advice would be to get help from your loved ones, like your partner, your family, your friends. Ask them what do they think about it, what are their opinions. Narrate the story to those who understand your vision, your ambition behind what you want to do, and those people's opinion will drive you to make a decision, and I promise you won't regret that. If you love what you do, the product, the outcome will be amazing. Just stick to it, no matter how many hurdles you have to cross, because you're never alone on set. Just ask for advice if you're stuck on something. Now, what I've blabbered on about right here, right now, it all comes from 3 years of experience from making no-budget short films. I am in no way, shape or form considering myself as a successful filmmaker. I still have a long way to go. I have so much to learn. I just thought that I have to make this video because there might be many people who are making these kinds of silly mistakes and I don't want them to. So this video is for them, and if you are watching it right now up until this point, then you can relate to this. That was the goal for this video. Hope you learned a thing or two from this video, because in the end, filmmaking is all about learning each day, every minute for the rest of your life, and still you can never learn everything and know it all. Thank you everyone. Peace out.